Time again for a U.S. off-road update. Let's take you to Pontiac, Michigan.
Kind of the birthplace, if you will, for the U.S. Off-Road Series, and the fans in the Motor City love it. The stadium lights open things up. Richard Kozar putting that number 2 in victory lane. Then it was off to the super modified buggies.
And in the super modified buggies, we had a lot of great racing, but Corey Witherell was the winner there, as he's been so many times this year.
Wrapping it up with the stadium sport trucks and the outstanding action there. Always high-flying action whenever the stadium sport trucks hit that starting grid. As they cross the finish line, Lee O'Donnell put himself in victory lane.
Here are stadium light point standings. Richard Kozar out in front of Joe Price in the modified buggies. Corey Witherell having a great year.
And Lee O'Donnell now on top in the stadium sport trucks by 5 points.
Let's go to Dan Moriarty.
You know, it's tough doing a jargon jam without a jargon. The problem is, Predator here does an incredible wheelie, which you fans have seen, but he has no idea what to call it. So next time you see him, make sure you yell out what his jargon jam for his wheelie should be.
You got to try and be different from everybody else. So, you know, all them hours driving up and down the interstate, you got things going through your mind. You want to try something different, you know, and be kind of unique. That's why it sets me apart from everybody else, because I do quite a bit of different things that are totally different that nobody else does. Just giant wheel stands.
Giant wheel stands. We got to think of a new name for this now.
Well, in between the next 2 shows or the next show, while I'm driving down the interstate, I'll see if I can come up with a better name.
You launch so hard on this big mobile, you'll dive into the second mobile, and it'll actually trip your truck. If you try to clear both of them and you don't clear it, it'll trip the tail end. It's called a tail slap. It'll tail slap that tail end of the truck and flip you up on your nose. Then you got to drive on your front wheels.
Well, there's Todd Frolick, driver of Barefoot. He hopes he doesn't have a tail slap in this run. It's going to be a good one. Barefoot going up against Monster Patrol.
It's hard to win when you tail slap, I'll tell you that. These guys want to keep it a lot more under control. And these are 2 guys who can do it. Great veterans and outstanding trucks, and both get off to a good start.
That's Monster Patrol in the near lane, and he's off into the concrete. We'll see if it hurts him. That's a great turn by Monster Patrol. Hey, what a great job of getting some air, and Monster Patrol on to win over Barefoot rather handily.
You know, I'm thinking back to the beginning of January when we started 1999 on Motor Madness, and Barefoot and Todd Frolick looked so good. But ever since then, it has been nothing but bad luck for him. And here, he was hanging with Monster Patrol, although it looked like Paul Schaefer was in control. But just bogged down. Something went away in the second half of the course.
You see Barefoot, who looks like he has a little problem. You really have to slow down in that turn. It looks like he really almost came to a complete stop in the turn.
And there's something. He's got virtually nothing, and then he finally fires it again, but he's done at this point. It looked like he bogged down coming out of the turn. And Barefoot, again, all that horsepower, but not able to get it through the turn. Let's watch Monster Patrol in the ISO.
Now, you'll see Monster Patrol get off that dirt there just a little bit, but it did not hurt him.
Again, if you remember back earlier, Dan Patrick and Sampson was significantly off onto the concrete. Monster Patrol and Gravedigger both have gotten on it a little bit, but again, not enough to slow either one of them down. Paul Schaefer's going into the semifinals.
Let's take another look at Barefoot again. You were right, Scott. Something definitely broke on that truck.
It has something to do with the rear steer, I would say, just the way the truck came through the turn and then wasn't able to finish it off. So, again, a bad break right there for Barefoot. But what Paul Schaefer and Monster Patrol has just been so smooth. I was even surprised to see him get off course a little bit just because he's been so good, so solid, and so consistent. And, again, it didn't hurt him much as he really gets a lot of air coming over the finish, doesn't he? Wow.
And then shows his strength. And as we've talked about, it was Paul who told us that it's not so much the horsepower. It is exactly how you drive this course. There's Gunslinger getting ready to go up against Cyborg.
What an interesting matchup we have here. Again, Cyborg is the truck with the 2-wheel drive, the only one. And Jack Coburn, as he told us earlier, thinks that's a decided advantage going through the turn. But no one has been getting through these U-turn courses better over the last several weeks here on Motor Madness than this guy. The big Ford from Oldsmar, Florida, Scott Hartsock, and the Gunslinger. Looking for another notch to put in that belt.
Scott has really been the man to beat in these big arenas where we do have these U courses, and we'll see what he can do. And as you said, Cyborg thinks he may have the formula to win here because it is such a driver track. Well, both trucks are staged and ready to go.
Let's see how Cyborg does. You know, Jack Alberta knows in U.S. hot rod sanctioned competition, he doesn't have the horsepower, but he tries to make it up right here.
Gunslinger got a hole shot big time now. It's a good job getting around the turn by Cyborg, but it's going to be Gunslinger. Just too much horsepower there.
And he, again, just feathers it through that turn so well. Scott Hartsock is really on a roll right now, and Gunslinger, again, is going to the semifinals, and there you see it. He's shooting another one down.
Yeah, those guns blazing from that truck. Well, watch Cyborg again, and not a bad job, just not enough juice under the hood maybe.
When he goes into the turn here, again, this is where he likes to think he has the advantage, but he bumps the pole and seems to kind of get off course. Only got one wheel over and never really finished the course at all. So that's technically a disqualified run, but he was beat anyway.
Indeed, it was just too strong for Gunslinger, and I think Cyborg, by the time he hit that turn, knew it. As we see here, Gunslinger, great run.
You know, you get into a groove, you know, if it's in baseball and you're on a hitting streak that, you know, that baseball looks like a beach ball, hitters will tell you. Right now, Scott Hartsock is just running with so much confidence, I don't think he thinks he can be beat right now.
And he may not here in New Orleans the way he's running. Let's hear now from Scott Hartsock.
Now, I know about the mojo, I know about the mega power, but something else is kicking in here.
Hey, I guess it's called pure adrenaline. Hey, I just, you know, it seems like I can't do anything wrong this weekend. Again, you know, last weekend, a weekend before, we run around here like banshees, you know. Every dog's got his day, you know, and today this dog's going to hunt. We're going to come out here, we're going to put down some more good passes. We're going into the semifinals right after intermission here. And hell, man, we came in here cock-locked, ready to rock this mega power Ford Gunslinger. Hey, who knows, we might just win the old Cajun country here at the old Superdome.
Now, a few weeks ago, you had a real bad run. You went down, you were out, you were no place to be found. All of a sudden, 2 weeks in a row, bang, bang, you're winning, and now you're on fire again one more time. What you change in your suspension, in your engine, and whatever, maybe it was your pregame meal, I don't know, to do this.
Hey, you could call it, you know, we ran out of bullets. We went back to Florida, reloaded, put some black powder in the old girl, dumped a bunch of mega power in the motor. Here we are. We come out cock-locked, ready to rock.
Gunslinger's hot in New Orleans.
Hey, it is hot in New Orleans. I'm telling you, step inside this seat right here, buddy, and we're smoking.
All right, Scott Hartsock having some fun here. So are we, and we've got a big match between Sampson and Digger coming up. Stay with us on Monster Jam.
Will they blast through the rafters? Get to IFMA Freestyle Motocross and see for yourself. If you thought Superman could fly, check out Freestyle and see what a real Superman is. It's rocking the nation, and you can get tickets now at pacemotorsports.com.
Nothing is bigger than the internet. And who's on it? Kids. Who are the fans of monster trucks? Those same kids. Now, you kids out there, you can't always come to all the pit parties. You can't come to every single monster truck event. It's impossible. But what you can do is log on with Pace Motorsports and the USHRA, or these guys have their own websites. You can talk to them, email them, have a one-on-one conversation. It's the wave of the future, and we're going to find out right now how it works.
Compact sport utility vehicle. If you're about
Everything, events,
I'm one finger.
how we stand in our points,
It takes me all day to talk back, you know.
what we do on the road,
We truly do read every bit of it.
who we do it with,
I couldn't open and turn the computer on if I had to.
where we stop and eat.
My 9-year-old can turn it on and I can't, you know.
People you see, people you don't want to see.
I know nothing about computers.
There's rumors that get going and rumors about me not working, quitting.
I know I have a website.
And I always get a phone call from one of the big guys on the internet. He'll call up and he'll get the real scoop. So when everybody calls into him, they'll link into him.
My wife handles the site.
And he's got the real deal from the horse's mouth is what they like to hear.
We get email all over the world.
It's changing everything.
All right, there's Dennis Anderson. Grave Digger has to be the favorite here. going up against Sampson.
Let's see if Dan Patrick, the veteran that he is able to correct what went wrong for him in round 1, which was getting off course.
Right, Sampson, the fast qualifier. Listen to that crowd here. Boy, are they into the